ज्ञानतिमिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यो मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं ददाति स्वं पदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपत्कमलं श्रीगुरेण वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रतं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सर्वभूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवां श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all for the class, Sunday feast class. So Sunday feast is a very important day for ISKCON all over the world. We have feast classes where Prabhupada started this. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, he started with this, the Sunday feast lectures, where everybody is invited to have a feast, plus to know about the Supreme Lord as well, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So today we, as I was told, soon we are going to have on the Wednesday Narsimha Chaturdashi. I don't know how many of you are aware of Narsing Day, Lord Narsimha. We sing the Narsimha Aarti in every temple of ISKCON, every day, so many times in a day. But then it is, Lord Narsimha is very, very dear to all of us. Lord Narsimha is the protector of the devotees. He protects who love him, who surrender to him. He protects all of them. He is the protector of the devotees. So today we'll be doing a pastime where it is mentioned about a small boy, Prahlad, who was born in a family of daityas. He was born in a family of demons. So there are two characters in Bhagavatam. They are very ideal. They are supposed to be the ideal of everybody. They are not big heroes, they are big heroes of course, but they are not, in age they are not big. They are very small. 5-year-old Dhruva and 7-year-old Prahlad. So today we are going to talk about Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is a 7-year-old boy. He was in the womb of Hiranyakashipu, is a demon. And his wife was pregnant with a boy. And Hiranyakashipu had gone, and his wife actually was kidnapped by the demigods when they came to know that demon's wife is pregnant. So they wanted that the child should not be born, that a demon should not come to this planet again. So they kidnapped his wife and they were about to torture her when Narad Muni, he appeared there. So Narad Muni is the son of Brahma, a very great sage who is spiritual master to so many of the, we would say, so many of the characters of Bhagavatam. He is the spiritual master to them. He is the Guru. So Guru is needed all the time. Krishna says himself, a spiritual master is needed in life. Like Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Shiksha Guru. He is the instructing master for everybody, all of us. So Guru is very much important in life. But a Guru is we need a bona fide Guru from a disciplic succession. Anybody who proclaims to be a Guru cannot be a Guru. A Guru has to be bona fide, coming from disciplic succession, like Srila Prabhupada. So here, Narad Muni, he is very bona fide. He has access to the Supreme Lord's palace. He can enter Krishna. He can enter Krishna's abode any time. So Narad Muni, he appears there to protect this lady, who is the wife of Hiranyakashipu. And now he tells all the demigods that the son in her womb is going to be a great devotee of the Lord. he's not a demon. And true to his, because that lady, that wife of Hiranyakashipu, she was in the ashram there of the sages. She listened all the Bhagavatam, everything, all the message of the Supreme Lord from the mouth of the pure devotee Narada Muni. And the child, when in the womb, even the doctors tell us right now, these days, the child in the womb of the mother, he picks up everything what's going around him or her. So that is how it was. Prahlad could get all the knowledge what Narada Muni was giving. I would request you all to please kindly check with their phones, are they on silent mode? So Prahlad was born to Hiranyakashipu. He was a great devotee. And now when he entered, the children are sent to school. Like in old days, they were sent to Gurukuls. So he was sent to a Gurukul, where the school, that is, we call it, Sanda Marka, were the two teachers. And they are the sons of Shukracharya. Shukracharya is the spiritual guru for the demons. So Sanda Marka were supposed to give him the knowledge, that political knowledge, and to instill in their hearts that their father is the Supreme Lord. There is no Vishnu, no Krishna the Supreme. His father, who owned a demon, would soon become eternal and would be he is Vishnu actually. He is the Supreme Lord. So now Hiranyakashipu had done a lot of austerity. He meditated and he knew if he would meditate and he had all the knowledge. When even his brother Hiranyakash was killed by Vishnu in the form of a boar, that is a different story, but when he was killed by the Vishnu incarnation in the form of boar, Hiranyakashipu was pacifying his sister-in-law, pacifying his own mother Diti, pacifying his nephews by giving them the knowledge of Bhagavatam. He was telling them how the body is not eternal, the soul is eternal. He was giving them all the knowledge. He knew everything. But then, it is all Krishna's pastimes, Krishna is Leela Purushottam. He teaches us through pastimes. This Leela is very strong for us to have faith in Krishna, because everything depends on our faith. Our spiritual life, our bhakti, our devotion depends on faith. If the faith is weak, if the faith is flickering, we will not stay long in bhakti. We will not understand the spiritual life. So spiritual life is very fortunate. Those who are very fortunate only enter into the spiritual realm. It's not for everybody and anybody. If you have inclination to spiritual life, what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, you are very, very fortunate. Because devotional life is not for everybody. So here when Hiranyakashipu, he was aware of all this, but yet he was actually under the influence of Yog Maya, and he could not understand this. When his son was born as a devotee, he could not take it. So he had taken a boon from Brahmaji. When he performed austerities, Brahmaji appeared and he asked from Brahmaji that give me this boon that I may become eternal. Brahmaji said, I am not eternal. How can I give that boon to you that you become eternal? I also have a life. I also die. Brahmaji also has a long life of 367 trillion and billion of years. But then he said to Hiranyakashipu, I can't grant you this boon. So Hiranyakashipu asked, that could you give me this, that I am not killed in day, I am not killed in night, I am not killed by an animal, I am not killed by a man, I am not killed by a weapon, I am not killed by any other sort of like weapons or anything can harm me. And then he said, I may not die inside, I may not die outside, I may not die in the dawn, I may not die in the even night. So likewise, he got this boon and Brahmaji said, okay to all. And now, I may not be killed by a man, I may not be killed by an animal. So now he was very well assured that nobody can kill him, because there is nothing like a midway. So now he was very well assured that nobody can touch him and he will live all his life as the Supreme Lord. And he will be the king of the whole world and he will become eternal now. So now Hiranyakashipu was very well assured, and then he sent his son to the Gurukul. where Sanda Marka were his teachers. They were supposed to brainwash him. They were supposed to make him understand that his father is the Supreme Lord and he should worship Hiranyakashipu. But Prahlad Maharaj was not like that. He would not leave his devotion to the Supreme Lord. He kept on singing all the glories of the Supreme Lord. Even as Prabhuji said, Nitai Prabhu, the president of here, the temple, he told you that I have written books on Vaishnavism and Sikhism. So I have done the studies on the interfaith, you would say. So I have written the books on the order of my spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He wanted me to write the books. So I have written the books where the quotations, the quotes, the verses from the Granth Sahib, from the Bhagavatam, from the Bhagavad Gita, from Chaitanya Charitamrita are there in these books. And in this book, from the Granth Sahib, it's written in the Sri Granth Sahib, where Prahlad Maharaj says, Meri patiyan lidyo Shri Gopal main na chodu Ram naam. He says, when he was in the school, he would write on his slate. In the olden days, they had a slate where they would write with a chalk and then wipe it off and then rewrite. So in that here, he says, I will keep on writing the name of Shri Gopal. I will never leave his name. His name is my life and soul. And that what he would teach to all his colleagues, all his friends in the Gurukul. They would sing the glories of Krishna. They would sing Gopal, Gopal all the time. Now Hiranyakashipu did not like this. He did not want his son to pick up everything like this. He was very against it. So he one day, and he tried a lot of things too. Lot of times he was correcting him. But Prahlad would not listen. Prahlad was very determined. He was very much strong in his mind that he only wanted to worship Sri Gopal and none other. And then now Hiranyakashipu was left with no other thing, no other solution. Now he wanted to kill his own son. So this is demonoid quality, where he became an enemy of his own son. He wanted to kill his own son. He tried many things. He threw him from the mountains, but he survived. He put him in the dungeons, he survived. He put him before the snakes, he survived. All the time Krishna was protecting his devotee. He was thrown before the elephants, he survived. Prahlad survived. And now, then Hiranyakashipu thought of one more thing, that how he could kill his son. His own sister, again a demon, she had got a boon from the fire god. So these are all demigods. The fire god, the air god, they're all demigods. The sun, they're all demigods. And demigods are there to serve Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So Holika, his sister, had got a boon that from the Agni, from the fire god, that it would not harm her. She would never get burned. So Hiranyakashipu requested his sister to enter the fire with his son Prahlad. And he was very well assured that his son would survive and his son would die and Holika would survive. But then what happened? The fire god is again serving Krishna. When Holika entered the fire with the son of her brother, the fire engulfed her. And Prahlad came out perfectly fine. It could not harm Prahlad. Prahlad was there. So again now Krishna proved that the devotee of Krishna is well protected. Again and again the stories in the Bhagavatam tell us the devotees are always well protected. They can never be harmed. So now Holika was burnt and Prahlad was fine. Now Hiranyakashipu was very angry. He called for Prahlad in his palace. When Prahlad came to his palace, the courtroom, he asked, there were pillars like these we have here. There were pillars in the courtroom, in the palace. So Prahlad, when he entered, the Hiranyakashipu said, you should pronounce to the world that your father is God. You should tell the world that your father is the Supreme Lord. He said, no, but Sri Gopal, Sri Hari, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Hiranyakashipu was very furious, all filled in anger. He said, where is your Krishna? He said, he's everywhere. He is everywhere, in every nook and corner, in every atom, everywhere there is Krishna. There is not a single place without Krishna. He said, who is giving you all this power? Who is giving you all this energy? And Prahlad very confidently says, the energy, the person who is giving you the energy is giving me also the energy. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita clearly, Sarvasacham idhi samvishta mada smriti jnanam apaunamcha. Krishna says in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where he mentions that if a devotee, if a person wants to remember me, I'm always there for him. He can always feel my presence, I'm always with him. But if a person wants to forget me, I always push him away from me. If he wants to indulge in some material desires, so I always encourage him to get indulged in that. And if he wants to indulge in spiritual realm, I pull him towards me. So Krishna mercy flows when we have a desire. If we don't have a desire to go near Krishna, Krishna will push us away. If we have a very strong desire to serve Krishna, Guru and Krishna, and we want to be near Krishna all the time, Krishna will give us opportunities, millions of opportunities to be with him. He will give us a lot of services to be with him. But if we do not want to be near him in our hearts, because he knows every, in Hindi we clearly says, हमारी सारी दबी हुई इच्छाएं भी भगवान जानते हैं. He knows all the deepest of the desire that is in our heart. He knows it all. So to the world we may fake anything. To the world we may fake with a nice tilak and a kanti mala, oh, I'm a very big devotee of the Lord. But Krishna knows from your heart who you are. So he gives you all those opportunities. He will pull you or push you. That's what he mentions in this verse. Sarvasacham hidi samvishta. So now, when Hiranyakashipu is asking Prahlad, where is your Krishna? He says he's everywhere, because Prahlad is never without Krishna. He always sees Krishna everywhere. And now Hiranyakashipu says, is he there in this pillar? Hiranyakashipu was very much now that he wanted to kill Vishnu. He had a big sword in his hand. With that sword he wanted to kill Vishnu to death. So he said to Prahlad, is your Krishna here in the pillar? Is Vishnu is there? He said, yes, very much. He is here in the pillar also. Look at the confidence of the devotee. Devotee is always very confident that Krishna is there protecting him. Krishna will appear, Krishna is there with him. And as he said, yes, Krishna is in the pillar, Hiranyakashipu lifted his sword and hit the pillar hard, and the pillar actually burst out. And out came Lord Narsimha. Lord Narsimha is Krishna himself. Keshav Dhrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare. So Lord Narsimha appeared, and this was a form of Lord no one had even imagined, no one had ever seen earlier. Because Lord had to take an incarnation as Brahma had given boon to Hiranyakashipu, that no man or no animal would kill him. So he could not appear in the form of a man or in the form of any animal like a boar or a Matsya Avatar. No, he had to take a unique form. So that unique form is Lord Narsimha. Nar. Nar means man, half lion. That is Lord Narsimha. And what he did was, he fought with Hiranyakashipu. The fight went on. And then he took Hiranyakashipu in his lap. So what Hiranyakashipu had asked, neither up nor on the ground. Nobody can kill me. So he was not either up, nor in the sky, nor on the ground. He was in the lap of the Supreme Lord himself. And no Shastra or Astra, that means no weapon would kill him. So what did Lord Narsimha did? He tore his chest with his nails. Nails are no weapons. And now it was neither morning, neither night. It was dusk at 6 p.m. It was neither out, neither in. He sat in the, where we call the doorway, the chowkat of the door, neither inside neither outside. So he sat there and he tore him with his nails. And now he was full of anger. Narsimha Dev was full of anger. His eyes were red hot. Because why? Why was he full of anger? He was full of anger because his devotee was being hurt here. He loved Sri Prahlad. Krishna loves his devotees. He says, I'm impartial to everybody, but I love my devotees. I protect my devotees. He clearly says in the Bhagavad Gita that I'm Samha, everybody, I'm some to everybody, equal to all. I'm impartial. But then he puts one thing, my devotees are very dear to me. So he never leaves his devotees. If you are devoted to Krishna, you are protected always. You will never feel that you are alone in this world. He's always with you. So Lord Narsimha actually revealed this in this pastime. These pastimes, they reveal everything to us. If we have faith, we get all the revelations. But if we don't have faith, we will not experience anything. It all depends upon your faith. So Lord Narsimha killed Hiranyakashipu, but he was full of anger. All the demigods were present there. They were showering flowers. Everybody had come from the heavens to see what was happening here. How Lord Narsimha was glorifying his own devotee here. And now Narsimha's wife is Lakshmi. So we always say Lakshmi Narsimha. So Lakshmi Devi was there. And all the demigods wanted to pacify the Lord now because he was very angry, very furious. So they requested Lakshmi Devi to go and pacify her husband. She said, no, I can't go near my husband right now. He's full of anger. I dare not go near him. She said, only one person can pacify him. That's Prahlad. They gave a garland to Prahlad. Prahlad walks to Lord Narsimha and he garlands Lord Narsimha. When he garlands Lord Narsimha starts licking him because in the form of a lion, how would he love his devotee? He started licking him, giving him his blessings. So that is Prahlad. He got all the mercy from Lord Narsimha. So that is why in the Granth Sahib, in Gurbani, every day in the Gurdwara, it is sung in the morning. We sing Narsingh Arati every day, morning without fail, every day, evening without fail. In the Gurdwaras, every day in the morning it is sung. It says, Ram Japoji aise, Dhruv Prahlad Japeo Har Jaise. Chant the holy name of Ram like that, like Dhruv and Prahlad chanted the name of Hari. So because Prahlad is our ideal, he's our role model. We sometimes think, oh, our children are very small, how would we teach them about the Supreme Lord? It's too early. No, it's not too early. It has been given in the scriptures. Yes, a 5-year-old should know about the Supreme Lord, should know about these pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Because these pastimes make us very strong. When we know these pastimes, they become our life. And then what happens? Krishna is always besides your own child. He will protect your child. Your child knows whom to call when in problem, whom to call for. Parents will not help. Krishna will help. Lord Narsimha will help. He will protect. I've got millions of stories, hundreds of stories to tell you all. Lord Narsimha came to Sridham Mayapur when there was problems coming up again and again in the construction of the temple. The deities were being harmed by the locals. Lord Narsimha were thought to be, they were installed there. And recently, very recently, just 2 years back, Lord Narsimha were installed in Delhi temple. In ISKCON Delhi, Lord Narsimha came. Lord Narsimha it's not that Lord Narsimha is more powerful or this Lord Narsimha is less powerful. No, Lord Narsimha is Lord Narsimha. He's always powerful. I have a very short story to tell you right now. Then we'll have question answers. It's just happened last month. maybe 1 month ago, 1.5 months ago. There's a young devotee girl in Japan, Tokyo. I actually started preaching in Tokyo in 2013. I've been into ISKCON for the last 25 years, me and my Prabhuji, my husband. So I've been a traveling preacher, international traveling preacher, because my Guru Maharaj wanted me to become a world preacher. He wanted me to travel the world and spread the message. He told me when I joined ISKCON in 2003, he told me this, that I want you to become a traveling preacher. And then in 2007, I started traveling. So it's all because of His mercy and blessings that I'm doing so. So I was preaching in Tokyo, this girl, she started coming to the temple, she started chanting. And she has been in touch with me since those days. And recently, 1.5 months ago, I just called her up. It was like after many months that I was just sending a message, I just sent a message across to her that how are you and your children. So she said that she was remembering me and she was in a lot of pain right now, and her son, a 2-year-old, her son has been hospitalized in a big Tokyo hospital. And they have detected a some problem that has come up in his, that's called Kawasaki. That happens to the children in Japan and Korea. And she said it's a very dangerous. And I was very shocked. Said she was in a lot of pain and agony. So I told her, don't worry. And it was like 2 p.m. it was 1:30 p.m. in Delhi. So we were talking and on the WhatsApp call. I said, okay, I'll just arrange a Lord Narsimha Arti. And you must give darshan to your child. And I'll just fix up in the temple. And 2 p.m. the darshan closes. So just before 2 p.m. I made a call in the temple and I organized it all. And I was there with her on the WhatsApp video call. And the child was there and she was there and they gave darshan to the Narsimha Arti happened. A special Arti was done for the child. And the flowers were offered and the lamp and the flowers were all shown to him in the video. And he took the blessings. The mother also, she helped. So that all happened, and the next day, like 4 p.m. in the evening, I just sent a message to Maki. Her name is Maki Yoshikawa. I just sent a message to Maki. I said, Maki, how is your son now? How is he doing? She said, Mataji, there is a miracle. I said, wow, what happened? Then she immediately gave a video call again. And she said, you know, the Tokyo hospital has taken the reports back. They say it's no more Kawasaki, it's just measles. Wow. She said that is all Lord Narsimha. It's all the blessings of Lord Narsimha that the reports went all wrong. This has happened many times. If you go to Mayapur, you will hear millions of stories like this. There was once a devotee family staying in Mayapur. Their daughter, she fell down and she fell on her head and then she became unconscious. She was taken to Kolkata to the hospital. And when she was taken there, said there's a clot that has come up in her brain and they will have to perform a surgery as they can't help dissolving it by medicines. So they said it's an emergency surgery that will take place now. So this child, when was to be operated in Calcutta, the mother requested Pankajagai Prabhu in Mayapur Dham that when the child is being operated, please do the Abhishek of Lord Narsimha. And that happened. There the child was taken to the OT, the operation theatre, and here the Lord Narsimha prayers and Abhishek started. But when the doctors went through the surgery, they wanted to go through the surgery, they did one more ultrasound and they were going through all the scanning, the MRIs and everything. Again they were redoing them in the OT itself before operating. But they were unable to find the clot. They said they could not find where the clot had vanished. And the child became conscious without any surgery and was all alive. And when the child was brought to the altar of Lord Narsimha back in Mayapur, the words of the child are, you will see there are booklets printed in, when you go to Mayapur, you will find all true stories of Lord Narsimha. The words of the child were, she said to her mother, if anything in future happens to me, don't take me to the hospital, take me to the altar of Lord Narsimha. I know he'll make me fine. Haribol. So this is Lord Narsimha. He protects his devotees. He protected Lord Prahlad. So Krishna teaches by his pastimes. The stories of Krishna are not just in vain, they teach us. They have been mentioned in the Granth Sahib as well. They are equally actually potent, they have all energy in them. That is why they are mentioned there as well. It's no mythology, it's not mythology, it's not myth. We think, oh, it's mythology, how can this happen? How can a man and half lion be a god, This is all just fantasy, just imagination. It's not that, it's the truth. It's written in the Granth Sahib, Hare Narhari, Hare Narhari, Hare Narhari. It's written there. So if this was mentioned by the Sikh Gurus, it has to be the truth. I'm actually born in a Sikh family. I was born and brought up in a Sikh family. I became a devotee 25 years back, but our family was not fanatic. I used to go to the temples and the gurudwaras. It was all alike for us. It was no difference. But then I met my spiritual master, and then it's a long story, but that happened. And I became a devotee along with my husband as well. Both of us got initiated together 25 years back. We got initiated like in 2001, and we came to ISKCON in 1999 in December. So it is our life story that Lord Narsimha blessed, and Lord Narsimha blesses all those who are devotees of the Lord, who just do once even some service for the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord says, I'm indebted to them. Just a little service if you do for Krishna. He says, I'm indebted to those who serve me. So that is for us. If we serve a little bit also, Krishna will always remain with us. So we should try to serve Krishna. Offer him bhoga, offer our japa. Chanting is the biggest service we do. So when we chant, that is the biggest service we are giving to Krishna. We are glorifying Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So why do we lift our hands? Anybody knows?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
When we lift the hands, we give blessings to the paradise planets and demigods.
Yeah, it could be one thing, but it's not the full thing. I'm looking for the full answer.
Maybe it's part of it.
Yeah, it's a part of it, sure. So anybody has another answer? Why do we lift our hands? Yes, Prabhu.
Lord Krishna did not come to Draupadi unless and
Yeah, that's a form of surrender. Yes, that's right. So it's surrender. It's like Prabhu said, when we surrender, Krishna blesses us, the Supreme Lord blesses us, and His energy comes to us. So when we are chanting, He's giving us His energy, because His names have got all the energy. He says, I have given all transcendental energy into my names. I filled my names with the transcendental potency. When we chant, that energy comes into us. It goes into us. So like it says, while we raise our hands, it's a show of surrender. So it's just a show, but full surrender has to come. Because Krishna asked Arjuna, give me your mind and intelligence. That is full surrender. When we give our mind and intelligence to Krishna. Mind to Krishna means when we work what He has given us, the orders in the Bhagavad Gita. So our life becomes that. That is, our mind goes to Him. We offer our mind to Him. We work with His mind, with His intelligence. So, even the Gurbani says this, that one should be Gurmukh. Gurmukh means one should listen to the Guru, follow the footsteps of the Guru, and not be Manmukh. Krishna says in the 11th chapter, 55th verse even, that don't be a Manmukh, don't be a mental speculator. Don't just try, hit and trial won't work here. Have faith, that will work. So, don't be a mental speculator. So, Draupadi and Krishna is asking for us seva. Service actually brings humility. It kills our ego. Krishna does not like ego. If you want to be in the spiritual life, you want to continue, you have to kill your ego. Kill the false pride in us. So, I would request just maintain silence. So, ego has to be shed off if you want to be strong in your spiritual life. And Draupadi had ego. Draupadi was being disrobed in the courtroom in Delhi, in Hastinapur. Krishna was in Dwaraka. He was with Rukmini, his wife. And he was very worried. He was walking here and there in his room. And Rukmini asked him, why you look so tense? He said, my best friend, Draupadi is known as Krishna. He is Krishna and she is Krishna. So Draupadi says he is the best friend of Krishna. Imagine. You would say he did not go until the best friend even does not call for him, he will not go. He is that because he is Krishna. So Rukmini asked him, why are you so tense? And he says, my best friend Draupadi, Krishna, is in a lot of danger, she is under a lot of anxiety right now. So she says, why don't you go? He says, she hasn't called for me as yet. Draupadi had a lot of faith in her 5 husbands. She had 5 husbands, those who were very strong. And she had this faith that they would not let this thing happen to her. They would not let her be disrobed in public. But when she looked at those 5 husbands, they all put their heads away. They all put their eyes down. Then Draupadi looks towards the great-grandfather, Bhishma Pitama is there. She has full confidence that Bhishma Pitama will not let this happen to her. But then Bhishma Pitama could not look into her eyes. He also had to put his head down. Now she looked at Dhritarashtra, her father-in-law, so-called father-in-law. She knew Dronacharya, the guru, sitting there. She said, how would they let this happen to their daughter-in-law? But they also did not look in, they also could not meet her eyes. They also turned away. And now Draupadi had full faith. This is all Krishna telling to Rukmini. He's telling this to Rukmini that Draupadi is like this right now. She's thinking this, she's thinking that. But Krishna is present in our minds even. He's sitting in our hearts. He knows what we are thinking right now. He knows how much we are conscious of what is going on here. He knows everything, where our mind is, whether it is right here in the class or whether it's going around somewhere. Krishna knows everything. And likewise, he's going to bless you. Sometimes we say, oh, I go to a temple, I didn't understand a word. Or I forgot everything when I came out. Because you were never attentive. So Krishna made it so that you don't remember anything. Krishna plans it all for you. If you are attentive, Krishna will have the different plans for you. If you are inattentive, Krishna has different plans for you. So if we are just thinking of prasadam right now, so Krishna's plans are that you forget the katha. But if you are into the katha and you don't worry about the prasadam, Krishna is going to be very happy with you. Though prasadam is equally important. So here Krishna knew what Rukmini, he's telling Rukmini everything, what is happening in Draupadi's mind at that time. Immediately Draupadi had a lot of faith in herself also. She's not an ordinary woman. She was born out of sacrifice of fire. Yagya Putri. She is a Yagya Putri. She had full faith in herself that she's very, very strong, very powerful. And then she is clutching her sari with both of her hands. But her power, this ability to hold her sari strongly, actually could not help her. Dushasana was proved to be much more stronger. And when he pulled her sari, Draupadi, she's called Krishna, she lifted her hands up and she said, hey Krishna Raksha Mam, hey Krishna, come to my protection, come to protect me. And Krishna appears within fraction of a second is too much. He appeared right then there in the form of the sari, which could not ever be taken off from her body. Dushasana got tired of pulling the sari, but the meters and meters and meters and meters of the cloth did not finish. And Draupadi could not be disrobed just by asking protection from Krishna. So this is Krishna, this is Lord Narsimha, who protects his devotees. He guarantees the protection of his devotees. So this incident that happened with Maki Yoshikawa, it happened like we usually do this whenever something is there. We do the Narsingh Arati, we do the Abhishek of Lord Narsimha, we invite him. And when these deities came in the big temple in Delhi, They are mesmerizing deities, beautiful deities, huge deities. So we should always go to Mayapur, have darshan of Lord Narsimha, or go to, whenever in Delhi, go to the East of Kailash temple, Shri Radha Parthasarthi, have darshan of Lord Narsimha, pay your obeisances. Or in Vancouver, when you're singing Narsing Aarti, Krishna is there, Lord Narsimha is there. So sing it with full of your heart and devotion. So these classes, these lectures, these kathas are meant to bring out our devotion, bring out our faith in Krishna. So we must attend these, and actually we should increase our faith. If the faith is not strong, Krishna will not bless us. Ado Shraddha Tado Sadhu Santada Bhajan Kriya Tatha Anartha Nivriti, Rupa Goswami says. Rupa Goswami says, Ado Shraddha, first you should have little bit of faith in Krishna. Then he gives you the association of devotees that you are getting here right now. The Gurbani says, Bin paga na satsang labije. Bin paga satsang na labije, bin satsang mail parije jiyo. Without being very fortunate, you cannot be in the association of devotees. One has to be very, very fortunate to be in the association of devotees. If you have faith, Rupa Goswami says, then only you are actually allowed to enter into the association of devotees. So that is why you are all very fortunate. This is being certified by the Granth even. That bin paga satsang na labije, bin satsang mail barije jiyo. And without being in the association of devotees, only what happens? Your life becomes sinful. You will be committing sins and offenses all the time if you are not in the association of devotees. So that's what Rupa Goswami says, Ado Shraddha Tado Sadhu Sang. If you have a little bit of Shraddha for Krishna, faith for Krishna, he invites you into the association of devotees. And then in the association of devotees, Bhajan Kriya starts. That is why we said Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the chanting. So Bhajan Kriya starts in the association of devotees. And then what happens? All these sins, all the offenses in your heart, all the dirt in your heart gets washed away. And then you will get more and more love of Krishna. When you develop love for Krishna, Krishna reciprocates with that love. So he is always reciprocating. It depends upon all of you. What you feel, how you feel about him, he reciprocates in the same way. If you feel a lot of surrender, a lot of love for him, he'll reciprocate. If you want to go away from him, he'll reciprocate in that way. So one should be very cautious. If one has a little bit of faith, a pinch of faith also for Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate. He will strengthen your, solidify your faith. So that's what I wanted to be shared with you all. Time is running. Any questions, please? Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
We'll just invite all of you who a wonderful class by Radhika Kripa Mataji. Please thank her for very fortunate to have her here. If you'd like to ask questions, she will be here throughout the evening. There's a book table just outside where you will also find some of her books there. And introduce yourself and bring your question to her. And take advantage of her association while she's here. The class is very much like a kirtan. So I just wanted to mention quickly before we move on to the kirtan that Radhika Kripa Mataji's husband is also here, Rasa Priya Prabhu. Are you here, Prabhu? So he's outside at the book table. Okay, I'll just mention that both the couple, they got initiated together 25 years ago,
Yeah,
correct?
2001 we got.
2001 they got...
98 we entered ISKCON.
They got initiated and they've been serving in ISKCON ever since. And in Delhi, does anybody know how many temples, ISKCON temples are in Delhi? 17?
18 now.
18 now? So 5 of them were designed inside and outside by Rasa Priya Prabhu. They've done a lot of wonderful service in ISKCON, and of course a very dear disciple of this one is Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who we've been celebrating here all week. Also, if you'd like to hear more about his glories as well, you can approach his close disciple here, Mother Radhika Kripa and her husband. So with that, We will move on to the
He's
next
come
part,
now.
which is
He's coming.
which is the kirtan. The prasadam will begin to be served in about 10 minutes or so on the patio for those who would like to go and take prasadam. Otherwise, the kirtan will go until about 7:30. And then we'll break and everyone will go and take prasad. We'll come back again for kirtan at 8 o'clock. Please take note that the kirtan that starts at 8 o'clock will go until 8:45. That's especially for our volunteers who want to come back and make it for that last kirtan. It's going to go until 8:45. So the kirtan will now be led by Damodar Hari Prabhu. So please you can all stand and have
Prabhu,
darshan.
Haribol, Prabhu, Rasapriya Prabhu. You can just introduce. You can just say one. Yes, Hare Krishna.